Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about manage and monitor your teams. Teams, which provide several tools to manage and monitor your team services. Now, from an administrative perspective, you may want to provide like some restrictions, what the users can do when they're logging into the team, or that they can create a private team or share the team with an external vendors, or even be able to send an email to their teams or not. So in this chapter, we're going to focus on their role, their how to manage them from the admin centers. We'll talk about various policies, how you can create different team policies to be able to apply to team groups. Now, the administrative roles, you got, first of all, Azure Active Directory. You can designate an administrator who had a different level of accessing for managing your Microsoft team. Now, the administrator can manage the entire team workload, or they can be delegated a permission for specific section, for example, troubleshooting call quality problem or managing your telephony needs. Now, the team roles and capability. There are several team roles and their capabilities. For example, you have a team administrator, you have team communication administrator, support specialist, and of course, device administrator. We'll quickly give you an overview of what each one of them does so that you're familiar with them. So the first one we're going to look at is called the team administrator. All right. So now the team administrator has several capabilities. This role basically allows you to manage and create your Microsoft team and our Microsoft 365 groups. So if you create a team, let's call it, I don't know, Eagle One, it will then create a corresponding Eagle One Microsoft 365 group in your Active Directory or in your team resource. Now, it basically allows you to, this permission will allow you to manage the team services and create additional teams if you need to. Now, someone with this particular role can manage things like meetings, meeting policies, configure conference bridges, manage their voices, including calling policies, phone number, inventory. You can create organization level policies, for example, including federations as well. Now, Microsoft Teams certified devices can be managed by this individual as well, as long as you are part of the team administrator. Next, you have team communication administrator. Now, an individual who is member of this particular role can manage the calling and meeting features within the team services. Now, this is not the voice portion of it. I'm talking about the meeting portion of it. They can manage the meeting, including meeting policies, configurations, and the conference bridges. Now, it does allow you to manage the voice, including the calling policies, phone numbers, inventory, and assignment. You can also assign users with the different profile pages, troubleshoot user call quality problem, as well as access, monitor, troubleshoot tenants call quality and reliability using the quality dashboard. So if you want someone who you want to manage the team, meetings, conference bridge, voice calling policies, you want them to be part of the communication administrator. Then you have the support engineer, team communication support engineer. These are individual who will be able to use some of the advanced tools, but will not have access to various aspects of the team. For example, these users will be able to view the user profile page, troubleshoot the call quality problem using the advanced troubleshooting tool sets. They will be able to access, monitor, troubleshoot the tenant quality, call quality, and reliability using the data that is available to your CQD, which is called the call quality dashboard. Now, this will be mostly for the support engineers who wants to provide day-to-day monitoring and supporting of your team's platform. Then you have the support specialist. Now, support specialists provide basic tools. So the difference between the support engineer and support engineer may be for level 2. Specialist will be for, let's say, level 1 engineers. So you want to provide them access to user profile for troubleshooting the call quality, can only view user information that they are searching, may not be able to access certain area of the user information. It also allows you to monitor, troubleshoot the tenant's voice quality as well as reliability using the data that is available to your quality dashboard. Now, this will be the first level support or level one support, depending on how you define your grouping. Last but not the least, we're going to talk about the device administrator. Now, these are the people who are going to be responsible for managing device configurations within the team services. It allows you to manage configuration, updates, review device health, status of the connected peripheral setup, apply things like configuration profile, and as well as restart the devices should you need to. Now, the team's administrator role does not provide access to the quality data or CQD or call analytics. So to view quality data or analytics, you need to be part of the communication administrator role, which is right here. So these are some of the different roles. In an organization, when you are working with an enterprise, you want to make sure that people falls into the right role so that they can do their job and not having access to resources that they're not supposed to. For certain companies, that is a very vital because due to their security policy or in order to meet some of the, let's say, industry's regulations. So again, depending on your company's policy. Now, let's talk about managing teams. And we already gone through this a couple of times where we able to see how our teams are, how to create them. So you can manage the teams from the team administrator. And when you go to manage teams, you'll see the number of teams and users that are currently available. So here you can see all the teams that are available for your organizations and how many channels per team that you might have. Now, keep in mind that a team could have more than one channel. A channel is a segmentation of that purpose of team. For example, let's say you are creating a team for oil drilling in Northwest Territories in Canada. Well, in that scenario, under the Northwest Territories oil drilling team, you may have different channel. Let's say a survey channel, a channel for people who are surveying the geolocations, a survey for someone who's looking at the environmental aspect of it. Maybe you have a team for transporting supplies from the remote locations to that. So those could be channel, and each channel you could have certain restrictions as well. Now, the team manage teams allows you to create them, delete, and of course assign members into that team. So let's go take a look at how it is done. So here I will, under the team administration, I will go to manage team. And so I have about a couple of teams available. So let's click on the voice bootcamp team. If I want to add a new team, simply I will click on add and I'll follow the instructions right here. Team could be either private or a public. Private means is only available to the members of that particular team that you manually assign. And of course, public, which will be available for anyone within the team gallery access. So which most likely will be the people within your organizations. So if I click on the team, I can do certain management. I can put a logo if I want to. I can click on the open in Teams, which will be the apps that we have. And of course, I can send an email to the team if I have permission to do so. On the left hand side, on the bottom, you'll see the members, channels, and the settings. So on the members, I can assign more users to my team. So right now, myself is already a member of the team, and I can go ahead and add, let's say, support, add voice bootcamp. This will be included as part of my team member. Now, here you can see I am the team owner, and support is considered to be the member. So if I want the person to be a team owner, I can go ahead and change the ownership as well. Now, ownership will give the user a bit more privilege than as a member will. So you want to make sure that you don't necessarily make everybody the owner. Now, under channels, I got a couple of channels. I got a support channel, video training, general. So every time you create a team, there will be a general channel. So for example, if I go and create a new team, so let's call this MS Team Voice Study Kits, and I want to assign Faisal Khan into that. It's already selected because I'm logged in that account right now. but I can assign a couple of other Faisal Khan that I have, not that they are different. So let's try support. So I can add the support in there. I can add another employee, Adora, and she does not seems to be a member of that. All right, so these two are going to be the owner. So they're not member, they're going to be owner. So I don't want the support to be owner. I want this team to be public so that you can log in, other members can find that team and request to join. So go ahead and add the team. And once the team is created, it's going to create a Microsoft 365 groups automatically. And I'll show you where that groups is created. So if I go to your Microsoft 365 Admin Center, there you'll have the team and groups. When you click on that and click on active teams and groups, you should see that new team is created right there, MS Team Voice Study Group. And there it will also create an email address as possible. And if you want, you can change that email address with a appropriate domain name. So as you can see right now, the email address is this, and I have a multiple alias. So let's say I want this Microsoft team to use another domain. So I have MS Team Study Kits at voicebootcamp.com, and I want to assign MS Team Voice Study Kit at voicebootcamp.ca. So what I will do, I will edit the alias, and I can say, okay, if someone sends a message to MS Team only, nothing else, to voicebootcamp.com, it will also receive that email into this particular team as well. I can also say MS Team at any of these domain, voicebootcamp.net. It will add that in this particular list. So sometimes you want to have a multiple email address, to cover all your domain. You could do so right about here. All right, so now let's go back to the team. I believe my team is created. As you can see, one channel is automatically there, and that is called the general channel as well. So you can't delete that. However, you can create your own channel. So if I'm looking at MS Team, what kind of channel do you think I'm going to look at? Well, it is a self-study kit, and I want maybe a team called support, because customers of mine may have issues with it or may have queries about that. I'll create that. So the type of channel that you create will depend on whether it's a private, standard, or shared. What is a shared? Shared basically means that you can share your group of people within and outside your organizations who are given permissions. So sometimes you could have your Microsoft team or Microsoft Office 365, your organization may have some sort of trust or relationship with another organization. Let's just say I have a trust relationship with the Microsoft. So now if I have this channel as considered to be shared, what's going to happen is I could share this team with the team people in Microsoft if I have that sort of partnership set up. Not that I have, but just an idea. Private basically means that accessible to anyone within that team, and standard means accessible to anyone in the team, and private means accessible only to a group of people within the team. So you can control that access as well. So I'm going to keep it standard for now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a new member to this group. So what I'm going to do, go to the members, and I'm going to assign, let's see if Adora is available. Yep. And I will assign support engineers. And these two are going to be my member, not my owner, but they're going to be member. So when they log in to Microsoft Team using their applications, they will be able to see this channel as well. So under settings, you have many different permissions. Now these permissions, you cannot edit it from this particular page itself. You have to go to team settings, or you have to go to team policies for that. So we'll come back to that in the next subsequent videos as well. All right, so now that you have a team and you have seen the settings of your team, if you want, you can go ahead and send an email to it. So what I'll do, I will send an email from my phone to msteam@voicebootcamp.com, msteam@voicebootcamp.com. Okay, so what I'm going to say, this is a demo for video training. Okay, hi, how is your day going? Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to send an email to that MS team. Now, obviously, once it's sent, you're going to have to log in to the team to be able to see that. So if you click on the group, so let's say I go to no, not there, right here. If I click on this, and there will be a little thing called view in the website or open in Teams. So let's say view in the website. And here I should see MS Team, and if the email is sent out under conversation, you should see that message comes in. Yeah, there we go. A message came in. This is a demo for your video training. How is your day going on? So all the members of that particular team could open this conversation, exchange information between them. They can reply to the message. It's like an Outlook email. Okay, pretty straightforward. So that's what your Microsoft team can do for your organizations. All right, so that's the overview about managing team. In the subsequent video of this chapter, I'm going to talk about the policies and various settings of your Microsoft team. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.